Uh, I'm doing my else live kasi I'm going to check my systems. In the meanwhile, while I am checking my system, uh, look at the heartwarming video of one of my members na si LQV, the pet lover. So, share po. Uh, I'm just checking my system.
Some poodles over there. Pero, hindi niya sila kinakahulan kasi mabait. Mabait siya. Hindi nang aaway.
Okay. Mabait siya, hindi nang-aaway. Yung dog, hindi pa nang-aaway. Bakit hindi, mga tao hindi ganyan, ano? Hindi na mga-aaway. So, this is a heartwarming
Minsan
video.
kahit kinakahulan na siya, titingnan niya lang. Tapos, tuloy-tuloy na siya sa paglakad. Ganun. Pakialam ko sa'yo, sabi siguro.
I'm just checking my
Pakialam ko
system.
sa'yo, sabi siguro kung merong gigil na gigil sa kanya na ano, pag naglalakad kami. Tingnan niya lang, then tuloy na sa paglakad. Yung mata, yellow. Yung right eye, yellow. Yung left eye niya is brown. Ayun, ang ganda. Ang gwapo ni Polo. Diba, Polo? You're handsome boy?
Yeah.
Are you?
Ang gwapo ng
You're
aso.
handsome boy.
Ang gwapo ng aso.
Si Polo. You want more?
Okay. Oh, ang bait ah.
Inaantok na yan.
Oh.
Inaantok na si Polo.
3 minutes muna.
Where are your pose? Pose.
Okay, ang bait.
Kamay mo. Pinangkamay.
Namimiss ko tuloy yung aso kong dati. Namatay na.
I can see the pain living in your eyes.
Diba? Bait ang aso. Diba?
How hard to try.
I am scheduled to start at 11. Wala pang 11.
Puro naman umpisa ang kanta mo. Puro umpisa ang kanta mo. Diba? Diba, Lodi? Diba, Lodi? Lodi Polo? Hello?
Best friend ni LQV yan.
Si Polo boy. Si Polo boy. Gusto ko na sila. Punta natin siya. Last one, okay? Last one.
Yeah. Ang ganda nga.
Happy? You feel happy? Yes, sit down. And then, up. Please. Come on, please. 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 Head. Good boy.
1 more minute
Okay.
before we start.
Sure. Okay, say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. See
Bye-bye.
you next time.
Bye-bye na. Tama-tama sa LS ko. Okay. Kasi I am scheduled to watch to start my discussion ng LS 11 o'clock. So while I was checking my system, I decided to let you see a heartwarming video of Lady Queen Bee, one of my members. So bagbatihan muna tayo before we start. Red One, nambuti. Good day, tatay. Sabi ko, hi, Red One. Then, panawagan ko, please subscribe and support the channels of my members. Sila Trek Sevilla 11, si Judy Basco, si Lily Ragasa, si Ryan, si Love, si LQB, The Pet Lovers, yung may video ng aso ngayon na pinalabas ko. Si Charlene Kim, mabait na lady from South Korea. Si Lady Net, si Little One yan, si Carclea Fontelo. Okay. Please support po ang ever supportive family ni Tessa Vargas, yung SSTV. Parati silang nandito. So, sinusuklian ko uh, na supportahan din niyo po sila, lahat ng family members ni Tessa Vargas. Yan. And don't forget to support Lintek, yung nagpag-graduate sa akin sa 1,000 para ma-monetize po ako. Hindi ako kumikita rito, pero papasalamat po ako sa kanya. Nandito na po, sabi ko, sa kaunlad ng bayan, unit team ni PBBM at BP Sara ay kailangan nating suportahan at patumbayan. Marami nang even doon sa channel ni Badong Aratis, kagagaling ko lang, marami nang parang nagdududa na may unit team. Pero paglalaban pa rin natin. Nandito po si Manang Carmen Kimberly. Good morning, Tatay Jack. First, God bless po sa lahat ng nagsusupport sa iyo. Gustong-gusto ko yung kanta mula sa show ni Judy Basco. Nandito na po si Tessa Vargas. Thank you. Kagirigigit ko lang sa'yo, Manang Tessa. I enjoyed it. Mayroon ka bang pinapatamaan doon, Manang Carmen? Hindi ko. Kung mayroon man, sana hindi ako yung pinapatamaan mo. Ate Mearns from SSTV nandito na po. Parating nauna yan si Ate Mearns. I appreciate her support sa akin. Si Mark Obias, my self-designated guardian angel. Sabi niya, wala yung, chinek ko yan, nag-subscribe nga ako sa kanya. Wala siyang vlog, pero nagsusuporta ng todo sa akin. Ayan. Si Daniel Spursberry, na always here. Si Tony Bibo, ang isa sa pinamakaling mag-analyze at mag-comment. Palagay ko makakakuha ng medal ito ngayon. Si Ronald Federico nandito na, si Tessa Vargas ulit, na bati ko na po kayo kanina. Okay, umpisa na natin ang talakayan. Kahapon medyo nabanatan si Presidente Duterte sa kanyang, dahil sa isang vlogger o pero ngayon, nagsalita na si President Duterte sa SMNI, nagbago ang tono niya. Yung mga, maangas pa rin, pero hindi na kasing angas. Maski galit ka kay President Duterte, dapat recognize mo na medyo may pagbabago. Kaya palakpakan natin konti si President Rodrigo Duterte. Ito ang sinasabi ko ngayon. Kababalita lang. Kanina dapat ko pang umaga ito isiwalat. Pero nagkataon yung i-broadcast ko na, nag-live si Idol Banat Boy. Si inurong ko na sa gabi. Pero ito talaga ang original po na itatapit ko ng breaking news. Yung pagiging diplomatic ng konti ni Prrd. Basahin natin po ang kanyang statement o kanyang programa. Nandito na po sa Salaram Gamer. Hello, Salaram Gamer. I'm going to go to your channel later on. Okay? Sabi diyan, nung nababasa nyo, Duterte, sabi ng reporting by GMA News, if Romualdez is telling the truth, then good for us. Oh, di ba diplomatic ang pagkasabi niya? Maski galit ka kay President Duterte, you have to admit na he has changed his tone. Palakpakan po kay President Duterte. Maangas pa rin siya, pero hindi na kasing tapang o kasing brutal na magsalita si former President Rodrigo Duterte. Kasi dito patas tayo. Kung kahapon po ay medyo nabanatan siya dahil sa threat niya sa isang sa uh, congresswoman, dito makikita no na oh, Lady Queen Bee de Petlabra, sabi ko, as I promise, your video of your follow your pet dog is the first item I did on the show. Balikan mo ulit. I keep my promises po. If Ramon is telling the truth, then good for us. Diba? Pagbabago yan. Hindi na sinasabing, oy Romualdez, hindi ka nagbabago. Siya, dito po, ay, inaamin niya na if she's telling the truth, then good for us. Okay. Gusto mong magbasa mo she's doing something. So, ako na lang magbabasa. Former President Rodrigo Duterte, it was well and good if Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romualdez was telling the truth about standing up for the integrity of the House of the Representatives. O ba? Diba? Magaling na pagsabi. Hindi maangas po. Kaya dapat lang palakpakan. During Duterte, in his SMNI television show, Gikan sa Masa para sa Masa, made the response over Romualdez's earlier vow to fight those who seek to malign the House. Okay. Senior Deputy Speaker Don Gonzales of Pampanga on Monday also indicated that Duterte was the one who maligned the House under Romualdez's leadership. Okay. Kung sinasabi niya ay totoo, di maganda. Wala tayong problema. Yan. Ang sabi niya, medyo naipakumbaba ang tono ng ating dating presidente. Hindi na yung maangas. Kaya ang aking thumbnail, hindi po nagsitungaling. If what he's saying is really true, if this is what is happening right now, then we should be thankful to Romualdez. Okay. To Romualdez. Duterte, he did not harbor any resentment for Gonzales, who resigned as PDP Laban member and PDP Laban treasurer before naming Duterte. Diplomatic pa rin siya. Okay. Duterte, the chairman of the PDP Laban, said he would be fine if he would remain the only member of the party. Para ako nagsabi ko, duman, kung mamalan ako ng subscribers, di ba? Parang ganyan. Be diplomatic. I respect his decision. I would encourage those who are not in tune with us, who are always welcome to go out. Hindi niya pinagtatabo yan. Pero kung ayaw na niya sa kanya, di umalis sila. Ganyan din yung aking patakaran. Hindi ko kayo pinagtatabo yan. Pero kung ayaw niyo yung direksyon na aking problema, I will miss you. You can go. It doesn't mean na pinagtatabuyan ko kayo. Ganyan ang sinasabi ni President Rodrigo, former President Rodrigo Duterte. Kaya nga I am uploading his sudden change in his mode of speaking. Nandito na din po si Sats TV from SSTV family. Thank you, SSTV. Di ba? Hindi nagsisinungaling ang aking thumbnail as usual. Pero dito na, mangas pa rin siya. Duterte said PDP Laban had the chance to field a new breed of candidates with the May 2025 election. Does this indicate that he will be the main opposition party? Sana wag naman. Kasi ang PDP Laban ay hindi na siya karamihan ng PDP Laban sumuporta kay Romualdez. Hindi siya kinitigan. Kaya nagtatampo din siguro yung matanda. Kaming matatanda, matampuhin talaga. Aminin ko yan. Isa na akong matampuhin. We can feel fresh personalities or faces. We can always rebuild. If it is in tatters, tatters punit na, we can rebuild the party anytime. Ang importante kasi dyan, yung prinsipyo. Tama yan, Presidente. The principle is the most important thing. Kung wala kang prinsipyo, kung wala kang prinsipyo, ay ibang klase ka. Yun ang masasabi ko. Party principle is important, but the most important thing is the person. Kung wala kang prinsipyo sa buhay, papayag ka na lang kasi pakisama. Don't expect me to club. Tama. Still, magalang siyang nagsasalita. Hindi katulad ng matatatapang niyang pagsasalita. Ngayon, medyo moderate na po siya. Kapag sabihin siya siguro ni BP Sara. Okay. Pero malungkot ako. Pati sa show ni Badong Ratilis na inangaan ko, medyo mukhang gusto na nilang tumiwalag sa unity. Ay naku, sa mambalita ito. Kung even in the show of Badong Ratilis, some of the members of the Badong Ratilis channel are starting na magwala. Masamang balita yan kay Presidente Marcos. Tama ba? Dapat bang palpakan natin si former President Rodrigo Duterte in the sudden change of the manner and tone of his speech? Yes, definitely. Okay, punta na tayo sa ibang balita. That's the first. Marami pong balita. Pero sisingit ko lang ito sandali. One minute po. Magandang balita ito sa mga OFW po. Mayroon nang dumating na rito na 40 yata. At saka isang good news, pati yung dati hindi pinapayagan yung mga asawang makaalis. Kasi kung may asawa silang Arabo, Palestiniano, hindi talaga pwedeng, yung mga asawa nila hindi pwedeng sumama sa kanila. Ngayon daw, pwede na raw po, sabi ng Israel. Okay. Pakinggan natin ang mensahe po ng magaling nating presidente.
Nagalak kong ibalita na 4 na po sa ating mga kababayan ay ligtas at matagumpay na nakatawi.
4 na po. Ligtas at matagumpay. Fresh pong balita to sa inyo. Hindi ako dito. Always fresh.
Ng Rafah crossing sa Egypt mula sa Israel. Sila ngayon ay patungo sa Cairo, kung saan sila magmumula para makauwi ng tuluyan sa ating bansa sa susunod na mga araw. Naisaayos natin ito dahil sa pagtutulungan ng Department of Foreign Affairs at ng ating mga embahada sa Israel, sa Jordan at Egypt upang maisakatuparan ang pagtulong sa ating mga kababayan.
Yan.
Nagpapasalamat din tayo sa mga pamahalaan ng Israel at Egypt sa kanilang pagbibigay prioridad sa ating mga kababayan upang makalabas ng kanilang teritoryo. Kinikilala din natin ang mediation effort ng Qatar.
Kagagaling na niya, kauusap niya sa mga sa Crown Prince ng Qatar. Na-influensya niya yung Crown Prince ng Qatar na mediate for us. Ganyan, kausan sa diplomasya ang ating magaling na presidente. SSTB, Mercedes Salvatierra at saka Teresilin Roma are here. Thank you very much. Okay. Kaya kagaling ang presidente. Tahimik magtrabaho. Hindi po maepal. Okay.
Na siyang naging dahilan upang nagbukas muli ang mga border ng mga naturang bansa. Umaasa ako na yung natitirang kababayan na nagnanais ding makauwi, makakatawid na ng maayos kasama ang kanilang mga asawa at mahal sa buhay.
Ayan, yung sinasabi ko. Kasama na po ang mga asawa nilang mga Arabo Polisyano na pwedeng umalis na kasama sila. Dati-dati ayaw nilang umalis kasi ayaw nilang iwanan ang mahal na buhay. Mahal nila sa buhay. Good job po, President. It takes a lot of diplomacy to achieve that diplomatic compromise with Israel and the Hamas. Okay.
Magbibigay uli ang aking tanggapan ng kaukulang balita tungkol sa mga pangyayaring ito. Maraming salamat.
Okay, thank you po. Thank you po, Mr. President. You are doing a good job. Okay. Kanina umaga po, tinalakay ko na mukhang bibigyan ng Senado ang confidential fund ni Sara Duterte. Pero ito ay pinabulaanan ni Senator Jinggoy Estrada. Pinadala sa akin po ni Miss Maribel Subala ang informasyon na yan. Bibigyan ko lang ng jacket si Ice Rivera 823. Okay. You have a jacket now. Okay. Mukhang papalto siya ang aking analysis. Kung totoo po yung sinasabi ni Jinggoy Estrada, pero hindi sila nagbutuhan. Kaya nga, I'm not losing hope na tama pa rin na ako. So, I'll give you an example muna. Babaliktad ba si Amy? Babaliktad ba si Robin Padilla? Babaliktad ba si Bato de Rosa? Babaliktad ba si Bongo? Yan lang, for examples ko lang. Kasi ang sabi po ni Jinggoy Estrada po, okay, si Catherine Kwan. Pasyente, bibigyan ko lang sila ng jacket kasi pag malayo na, mahirap ko nang habulin. Si Prrd La Rosa, ibibigyan ko rin ng jacket. Okay. Si Susana Barqueros, bibigyan ko rin ng jacket. Thank you po sa pag-subscribe po. Ang dami. Si Isabelita Dava, bibigyan ko rin ng jacket. Ayan. Nabigyan na si Isabelita. Okay. Kasi sinabi niya, unanimous po. Ang ibig po ng sabihin ng unanimous, lahat sila, walang tumutol na sa pagtatanggal ng CIF. Confidential fund. Ang sabi pa nga ni ni Jingo daw ay lahat po ng confidential fund ng civilian agency ay tatanggalan po ng confidential fund. Okay. Si Catherine Newmore po, mayroon ka na pong jacket. Okay. Si Elvia Alameta, mayroon ka na rin pong jacket. Si Anna Lynn Prrd, mayroon ka na ring jacket. So far, nabigyan ko na kayo. Kung mayroon na akong nakaligtan, I will make sure that you will receive a jacket. Okay. So, Miguel of chapter po tatay. Okay. Sabi po niya, tatanggalan po niya ng CIF lahat po ng civilian agency. Kaya ang tanong ko, nagtanong ako sa kanya. Ngayon, nagtatanong lang po. Ang sabi ko sa kanya, o ang tanong ko sa kanya, ganito po. Ito po ang aking tanong. Senator Estrada said they will remove all civilian CIF. Kasali ba dyan ang Office of the CIF since civilian agency ang OP? Nagsasabi ba ng katotohanan si Senator Jinggoy? Mapagkakatiwalaan niya? In the absence of any other evidence, sabihin na natin tama siya, tatanggal siya. Pero ito ang rebuttal. Hindi ko sinasabing hindi po siya tama. Pero kung sabi niya, tatanggalan lahat ng OPCIF, civilian agency, pakinggan natin ang sabi ni Pimentel. Dito, pag nagkikipag-argue tayo, always with credible po na nasingitan ng ads. Sandali lang po. Iba yan. Hanapin ko lang sandali yung aking ito po, para lalakihin ko lang ang news story. Okay. Ito ang sinasabi ko. On October 12 po, Senate urged to realign 4.56 billion confidential funds of OP. So, ang argumento ni Jinggoy Estrada is lahat ng civilian funds ay tatanggalan niya ng confidential and intelligence funds. Malinaw po yan. So, ano yung argumento? ito, tama yung nagsasabi, umpisa lang yan, yung kay Sara Duterte, kunwari lang yun. Pero ang main purpose po nila, hello, Lady Net, little one, thank you for, kagagaling mo lang dun sa kapila, I noticed, thank you for supporting her, Lady Net. So sabi ni Aquilino Pimentel III, as a backgrounder po, tinanggalan nila si BP Sara ng confidential fund kasi hindi she is a civilian, it is a civilian agency, hindi directly involved po sa intelligence. So ito po, if that is their line of thinking, they are aligned with Senator Aquilino Pimentel. Always with credible support po ang ating station. Ang Senate Minority Leader Aquilino Pimentel III on Tuesday night urged his colleagues in the upper chamber to slash the proposed 2.25 billion confidential fund of the Office of the President and eliminate its 2.3 intelligence fund and realign this to the intelligence gathering agencies. Di ba? Kasi yan ang argument nila kay Sara Duterte. So, panakiputas lang kay Sara Duterte. Okay. Hindi yata alam ni Senator Django Estrada ang kanyang sinasabi. Pimentel, he said the Office of the President is a civilian agency. Ang parang tinotal kasi ni Sir Jingo Estrada yung pagsabi na civilian agencies should not have confidential fund. Noon isang araw nga, yung bagong Secretary of Agriculture, sabi niya, magagawa siya ng what we call, he needs intelligence. It follows that if he is going to establish intelligence group sa kanyang departamento, they would need intelligence fund. Tapos hindi mo bibigyan. Okay. Pimentel said the OP is a civilian agency not directly involved in intel gathering. Tama naman siya. Kung ganun ang gagawin ng rason, matatanggalan din ng intelligence fund ang ating mahal na presidente. Hindi karapat-dapat yun. Kailangan na ng intelligence fund. Diba? This is not and should not be engaged in intelligence gathering considering the workload of the Office of the President. So, ang puntirya nila ay hindi si Sara. Madaling analysin nito eh. Ang puntirya nila ay ang presidente. Ginawa nila yung transparency na argument na pinatunayan kung hindi valid argument yun. So, talaga ang purpose na pagalitin ng tao na kunwari pera nila yan. So, ang target po nila ay ang presidente na mayroong intelligence and confidential fund. Okay. Yan. Ganyan ba ang gagawin ni Senator Jinggoy Estrada? Kakalabanin niya ang presidente? Tatanggalan niya ng confidential fund ang presidente? Ano sa palagay niyo? Kayo na magbigay ng opinion. Ako, hindi nila tatanggalin yan. Maski. Okay. So, yan. Yung sinasabi ni Jinggoy Estrada. Okay. Hindi ko gawa-gawa yan. Yan. Galing po sa Mala Business Insight. Ay. Dito makukuha kayo ng debunking ng kan. Ay, nako. Ito pa. Ibig ba sabihin ni 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 Jingoy Estrada na unanimous po. Ibig sabihin, lahat sila ay pumayag na tanggalin po yung confidential fund ni Sara Duterte. Ibig mo sabihin, hindi ito totoo ang sinasabi ni Go na she trusts BP Sara in confidential fund use? Hindi po galing sa akin yan. Galing po sa Philippine Star. Sinabi ni Go na trust Vice President Sara in the confidential fund use. Meaning, sinusuportahan niya si BP Sara. Ayun. And of course, alam mong makaduterte si Bongo. Kaya ba niyang sulugin ang anak ng kinikilala niyang mentor, a friend? Tama ba na unanimous nga? Ibig sabihin si Ruben Padilla, si Go, si Batu de la Rosa ay are going to remove the confidential fund of Sara Duterte. But dito sa channel, in the face of any other evidence, maniniwala muna tayo kay Senator Jingoy Estrada. Pero the point is, hindi sila nagbutuhan daw. Inamin din niya na hindi siya nagbutuhan. At saka galit na galit kasi may leak. Bakit sila magagalit na leak kung walang katotohanan? Ang leak. Yan ang tanong ko. Bakit sila nanggagalaite sa pagkakaroon ng leak? Mama Rebel, hindi ko mahanap yung pero I already disclosed na tama kayo. Sabi daw ni Maria ni Jingoy Estrada, okay. Dito po si Mama Maribel, ipapakita ko yung statement po ni Jingoy Estrada. Dito hindi tayo nagtatago ng news na kontra po sa atin. Okay. Okay. Estrada refutes report senators want OBP debt confidential funds back. Ayun ko kung bakit ganito tungkol. Pasensya na kayo. In fact, sabi niya, we never voted with regard to all intelligence or confidential fund. Said Estrada during Tuesday's plenary session. In fact, sabi niya, in fact, we agreed unanimously, yung sinasabi ko, unanimously, lahat sila ay nag-agree na alisin ang all confidential intelligence fund, not only of the OVP and DepEd, but all civilian agencies with CIF. Ibig sabihin po ba, magaling na Senador Estrada, since the office of the president is a civilian agency, tatanggalin mo rin ba siya ng confidential fund? At sasabi mo, unanimous po ang agreement ninyo. Hindi kayo nagbutuhan. Hindi po sila nagbutuhan. Agreement lang yan, kunwari. Pero ang crucial po, sabi nga ni Badong Aratiles na magaling na analista rin, binasura ng Senado totally ang confidential fund. I disagree with my colleague, ang hinangaang blogger. It's not yet final kasi wala pang butuhan. Ipapakita ko sa inyo. Ulit, yung sinabi ni Bongo. First, analysis, wala pang butuhan. Babaliktad ba si Jaime? Babaliktad si Bongo? Babaliktad si Pato de la Rosa? Babaliktad po. Ay, you're right. We'll just wait until may butuhan po. Ang final analysis ay kung ano ang sabihin ng Korte Suprema. Yun ang inaantay po nila. Kasi kung sinabi ng Korte Suprema na inulang hindi unconstitutional yung yung confidential fund, mapipilitan na ibigay kay Sara Duterte ang kanyang confidential fund. Kaya nga nung umaga ay ipinahayag ko yung sabi ni VP Sara na let the Supreme Court decide as to the constitutionality of the confidential fund. Akmang-akma aking mga isinasaulat sa inyo. Pero tama po si Ma'am Mabel. We'll just wait for the proof is going and where it will end. Again, you get the first medal. Di ka ba nagsasawa na yung Ma'am Maribel na you always get the first medal? Bibiro lang ako Kasi tama po yung statement nyo. Magantay tayo. Magantay tayo kung ano ang resulta. Okay. But labi din nila Tractibilia, masama pasanto si Agaw, Jika, Lady Net, hello po. Okay. I don't know if I can squeeze it to 1 hour. Kasi mayroon akong ipapakita na yung Yolanda tragedy remembered. Okay. So, may magaling na tulpo pala. May magaling pala tulpo. Ang sinasabi ko ay hindi si Idol Senator Tulfo, kundi yung kapatid niya na naging secretary ni PBBM. Ay pakinggan niyo. Nakakatuwa po. Ang tanong niya, very, very, very uplifting na mayroong mga kongresista tayo na marunong pala. Ako hindi ko naisip ito na mayroon palang mga strategy. Virilio Valleneva is here. Well, thank you, Virilio Valleneva. Jongjong official is here. Lady Nen, kantaan na lang doon kabila ka, nakapagsimula na ako. Okay. May magaling palang tulpo, naknang tinapay. Tuwang-tuwa ako dito sa nakita kong balita. Dito na lang makikita yung mabalitang ganyan. So, another news. Saan na yung... ito ang balita. No? Kita niyo yung image na yan. Yung banggaan, eh, pero ang headline, Tulfo urges AFP to use faster ships for ayungin the supply mission. At simple. Lady Net, na bata, na bati ko na. Hindi. Why did I not think of that before? I said, credit where credit is due. Naisip nyo ba yan? Dapat gumamit ng Navy natin ng faster ships para maunahan yung barko ng China. At saka mayroon pa siyang strategy na tama rin. Ang galing niya ito. Dapat lang siguro maging senador ito. At least hindi siya masyadong maipal. Di katulad ng kapatid niya. Dito lang kayo makakakita ng news na ganito. Kasi hindi isang topic lang. Valid po ang topics natin dito. Na pwede niyong ipagtanda pang debat sa mga ka-argument nyo. Okay. Yan image. Dito po. The armed forces of the Philippines should use faster ships for its resupply missions to the BRP Sierra Madre near Ayungin Shoal so that the Philippine Coast Guard vessels would not be forced to wait for slower boats that are easily chased by Chinese Coast Guard. Diba? Ang ganda po ng suggestion niya. Hindi ko po naisip yan. Kayo ba naisip niyo yan? Ay, believe na ako. Believe na ako sa inyo kung naisip niyo yan. Pero ang simple-simple pala ng solusyon. Umanap ng mabibilis na barko. Diba? Tama po siya. Sino? Hindi po si Idol. Rafi Tulfo, kundi si CIS party list Representative Erwin Tulfo made that proposal on Tuesday at the hearing of the House Special Committee on the West Philippine Sea on Tuesday. Diba ang ganda? Palakpakan, Sir Erwin Tulfo. Okay. He asked the PCG spokesperson, Commodore J. Tariel, about the speed of the Coast Guard vessels. Sabi niya, how fast are our watercraft? How many knots does your ship reach? How fast is it? And how fast are the Chinese ships? Because when you are chasing each other, no, they would really block you if you are cruising at 5 knots and they run at that speed of 20 knots. Tama! Tamang-tama po. Sabi ni Roder Evans, yes, we need 21 class patrol boats which are fast. You get the second medal today, Roder Evans, for a good comment. Na-late ka, Lady Net. Kahit ano pa, kabilis yun, tatay. Kung sasadyang harangin ni China, ganun pa rin naman. For me, respect between the two. Yeah, you may be right, but this is another aspect that we have to study. Wag natin kagad na sabihin it doesn't work. But because it might work. It has never been tried before. Okay. Okay. Importante mo yung last na sinabi mo, respect between the nations. But when they do not respect us, that is a given. That is a given, lady Net. They do not respect us. Otherwise, why would they bully us? Here, di nga nila kaya habulin makikita natin kahit hindi mabilis pang kanya. Okay. Okay. So, ito lang, natutuwa ko kay Irwin Tulfo. Mr. Chair, on the part of the PCG, our 44-meter vessels can rush as fast as 20 to 25 minutes. However, since our primary mission is to provide security escort to the chartered boat, we have to adjust up to a low speed so that we can keep pace with the chartered boat. So, that really validates po yung statement ni Edwin Tulfo. Kaya sila nahuli is because mabagal yung chartered boat nila. Although tayo, your favorite, it is not the machine but the pilot. Tama na, magaling ang piloto natin. Plus, lagyan mo pa ng good machine, di walang binatbat yung mga Chinese. So, kaya sila kasi inaalala nila yung boat na mabagal. Okay. Kaya pakinggan niyo muna yung balitaktakan ng PCG, Coast Guard, at saka si Irwin Tulfo. Magaling magtanong po si Irwin Tulfo. Tulfo then asked what the resupply boat, and Natalia said, somebody from the AFP could answer. Okay. According to the Western Command Commander, Vice Admiral Alberto Carlos, Yunaiza, May, the vessel tapped by AFP to do resupply mission, which figured in the collision with the China, has a cruising speed of 7 knots. 7 knots lang po ang kanyang. Hello, sabi ni Mama Ribe, water cannon cannot against water cannon. Natatawa siya. Lots of laugh, sabi niya. Eco vlogs. Eco. May galab siya po, tatay siya. I'm glad na nagpunta ko dun sa channel ni Sir Badong. Ang daming basus pala. Ang daming tinatawag kakayanin yung mga tao yun. Tinatawag na gago si Mr. Badong Arate kasi ang galing-galing yung mag-vlog. Sana dito po, walang bang kakaganon po disiplinado tayo dito, no? Maski kukunti ang manunood, basta respetado at saka maingat at saka respetadong diskusyon po. Sabi ni Sis Maribel, na-imagine ko lang na para sila naglalaro. Tama ka dyan! Leader, sasabihin din niya ni Sir Erwin Tulfo. Kita nyo, ang ganda talaga ng nakagilap kong balita. Can we get somewhat faster better? Matatawa kayo at 7 knots, sabi niya. Hindi ka. Even a swimmer could do 7 knots. Pero mo, even a swimmer can do 7 knots. And maybe a turtle could catch up with the ship going at 7 knots. That puts the Coast Guard at risk because it will have to act as a shield against the Chinese ships. Tama. Tama po si Edwin Tulfo. Maybe we could go get a ship that can go 12 to 15 knots so that we can move faster than 7 knots. He added, tama. Kasimple-simpleng solusyon siya. Let's try it. Ang sabi ko parati, pag yung dating formula ay hindi nag-work, bakit hindi ka gumamit another formula? And that is what good congressman is doing. Sabi ni sabi ni Roger, yeah, 7 years is like 12 kilometers an hour. Ay, hindi ko alam yung mga knots in terms of speed. But nakita ko yung biro niya, 7 knots, even a swimmer can do that. Naku, tuwang-tuwa ako talaga sa balitang ito. Tuwang-tuwa talaga ako. Okay. Ewan ko, hindi kayo natutuwa. Yes, sir, that's part of the options we are considering. Ay, hindi pala. Hindi lang pala. Si Edwin Tulfo ang nagko-consider. Kuni-consider na pala ng Philippine Coast Guard. Oh, yan, Lady Net. Even the Philippine Coast Guard is considering that option. Yes, me, I would suggest our water cannon would use something from Malabanan. Just joking. Malabanan, yung septic baths, kasi biro namin yan eh. Yung nagkoko ng mga tae na sinisip-sip yung mga tae yun ang grabe ka rin manang Maribel ha. Sabi ni Lady Nip, joker pala si Ma'am Maribel. Matatakot ka yung Chinese kung ang ikakano nila ay galing sa Malabanan. Our Coast Guard doesn't even have their own helicopters. Bibigyan tayo ng India daw ng 7 helicopters. Nandun dyan sa balitang nasagip ko, kaya lang di ko na ipalabas kasi kulang ako sa time. Si Princess Fia nandito na po. Thank you, Princess. Bait-bait po. Always, pag hindi siya nakaka-live stream, what we call, replay siya. Cannot stop laughing. Malupit ka talaga. Hindi ko naisip yun sa Malabanan. Puro tayo. Nako. You make my live show enjoyable. Binoti, sabi niya. The ideal speed for us for the rotation is 15 knots. For a platform that can go at least 15 knots with a drop that can enter the shoal, Mr. Chair. Okay. Di pa yan ang suggestion niya. More shift. Ito, isa pa magandang idea ni Irwin Tulfo. Ito, hindi ko rin naisip to. Pwede palang gawin ito. Early in the hearing, authorities showed video footage of the Chinese Coast Guard chasing PCD vessels and the AFP contracted supply boats, which eventually led to the collision. Mayroon siya suggestion dito na nakakatuwa that the supply ships were supposed to provide supplies to BRP Sherman if it was deliberately breached at the... Ito. Basahin niyo muna. Tolfo came up with another suggestion. Kalmate. Why not send more than 2 ships to confuse the Chinese side? O paano? Di ko yung iba. So, hindi alam ng mga Chinese kung sino tutugisin. O, di ba? Magandang plano yan. Don't we have plans to increase the reflow price ships? Like, this is the offense defense in this sport. Right? Yun ang sinasabi mo, Lady Net. Parang sport yan. Napag-isipan din ni Irwin Tulfo yan. So, meron ka rin tamang opinion. Parang sport na patentero. It's like a cat and mouse. Maybe we need many ships to serve as decoys. Can we do that instead of sending two? Why not 10 ships so they would not they would be confused. Would not know which to go after. Can we do that? Sabi niya. Oh, di ba? Oh. Mr. Chair, we can discuss that in this siguro executive session kasi ang plano ng PCD hindi pwedeng isiwalat. Hello, Maritel T. Thank you for joining the LS. I'm so glad whenever you are here. Uh, Mr. Chair, we can discuss that in the executive session, possible actions we can take. Siguro, napag-isipan na nila. Pero ayaw nilang enable sa public hearing because they are confidential and sensitive in nature. Palakpakan. I've never enjoyed a column like this, a news story like I did today. Naiyak ako sa aking tuway. Okay. That good. So, isa pang news. Another good news. Tanggalin natin yan. Para maalis. Okay. Another news. Okay. Ito naman sa EDCA. Dito sa channel ko, sari-saring news na makikita nyo. Credible parati. Okay, share the screen. Ito magandang balita to. Kasi hindi tayo gumasa. Bilyonas ang ginasa ng states. Okay. Nakikita niyo na naman ito, balita. Dito lang muna nyo makikita ang balitang ito. Okay. Dito, ilang balita ang nakita nyo? Yung balita kay Prrd, yung balita kay Dingoy, yung balita kay Pimentel, yung balita kay Bongo. Marami kayong natutunan ngayon. Okay, leg din it. Ay, hindi. Anong sabi dyan? Nababasa, Basa Airbase, EDCA runway, rehab now complete. Sino ang gumasta niyan? Tanong natin. Kasi Basa Airbase ay isa sa base na gagamitin ng Amerika para sa kanilang mga kagamitan. Na minsan eroplano. Pero ang base po ay base po ng Philippine base po yan. Hindi yan American base. So gumasa po ang states ng napakalaki. More than 1 billion po. 1 billion. 1 billion pesos ang ginasa nila. Isang confidential fund ni Sara Duterte yan. Ginamit lang sa pag-rebuild ng runaway ng Basa Airbase. Gusto nyo? Lang pasensya na kayo kung the runaway rehabilitation project of Basa Air Base in Florida Blanca, Pampanga has been completed, allowing the airport to accommodate larger and heavy aircraft. Funded under the funded under the Enhanced Defense, Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement or EDCA, the 1.3 billion. Biro mo, isang bilyon at 300 million ang ginasta ng states. Rehabilitation na hindi na tayo ang gagasta. Atin na yun. Kasi hindi yan makukuha ng states sa kanila pag umalis na sila. Under the deal according to the Philippine Air Force. The runway is now ready to accommodate larger and heavier aircraft such as the Philippine Air Force cargo planes. Further, the improved runway ensures the safe conditions for training and operations of aircraft, especially during response to emergencies. Emergencies kasali na dyan, yung armed emergencies and calamities. Di lang sinasabi. Defense Secretary Gibo Teodoro, Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief Romeo Bronner, and U.S. Embassy Chief of Mission Robert Ewing led the turnover ceremony of the completed runway. Di ba magandang balita yan? Sabi ito ang paboritong possible na maging presidente ni Miss Maribel Zavala. Kung siya ang kandidato ni President Marcos, all up po ako sa kanya. Nations must have the authority. Titan yung magsalita siya. Nations must have the authority and the strength to enforce international law within its territorial jurisdiction with areas where it has sovereign rights and other jurisdiction. Mabigat po yung binatawan na salita ni Gibo Teodoro. Ibig sabihin, gagamitin yan sa pagprotekta ng ating sovereign rights and other jurisdiction. The Defense Chief, antayin ko muna ang late kasi ang YouTube. The Defense Chief, it is only natural for Washington to support its oldest ally. Tayo ang pinakamatandang ally in building a credible and reliable defense posture. Sabi ni Mama Rime, tuwang-tuwa ako kung ano tayong matatanda. Simple, maliit na bagay, natutuwa na tayo. Hindi tayo mahirap patawanin. Hindi rin tayo mahirap paiyakin. Yan lang ang diferensya. We are not looking for war. We are not looking for conflict. Hindi tayo nakikipag, hindi tayo nakahanap ng giyera. Hindi tayo nakahanap ng away. We are just reasserting our rights. Pinaglalaban lang natin ang ating karapatan, sabi niya, which the UNCLOS and relevant Philippine laws secured us. Na nibigay sa atin ng UNCLOS at saka other Philippine law. Okay. For the U.S., the existing wala pa sa akin antayin ko. For the U.S., the existing and new EDCA sites will not only support the Philippines military, but will also contribute to the local economy. Di ba yun ang sinasabi ko nung una nagdidiskusyon tayo sa EDCA? Not only will it benefit us in terms of military, but it will also benefit us in terms of economy. Yan. Yan na nagpapatunay na tama ang aking analysis. My idol Gibo. My idol Gibo and no one else. Huwag ka naman close-minded, Ma'am Maribel. Paano kung di ka kandidato sa Gibo? Hindi ka na boboto? Kailangan bumoto ka. Okay. So, that is the end of our discussion. Kasi yung the last part po is remembering 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 the Yolanda tragedy. Maganda po. Maganda po ang sinabi ni. Dapat tayong pumalakpak din sa sinabi ni Speaker Martin Romualdez at saka si Mayor Romualdez. Kasi they were there. Huwag tayong magkaroon ng puot. Kanina punuri ko si President Rodrigo Duterte dahil sa nag-change siya ng konti sa kanyang manner of speaking. Ngayon, mapapakinggan natin ang sinabi ng Mayor ng Tacloban, si Speaker Martin Romualdez at si President Bongbong Marcos. It runs about 30 minutes. So this is the end of my LS. Kaya lang kung nagkakaroon kayo ng comments yan, puputulin ko sandali yung video to respond to sa inyong mga comments. So here goes. Kalalabas lang po nito. Wala pa sigurong vlogger na nagpapalabas nito.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, Ferdinand Bongbong Romualdez Marcos Jr., sir. Speaker of the House of Representatives and Congressman of the First District of Leyte, Ferdinand Martin Romualdez. Our Philippine Senate.
Dito po, patatan po tayo. Whatever is the positive news, ilalabas po natin. Hindi tayo namimili. But it is good for our country, ilalabas po natin. Hindi po tayo naghahanap ng awayan. Hindi. Ilalabas natin and what good they are doing. That is what should be done by others. Hindi yung promote po ang awayan.
Senators, Senator Francis Torrentino and Senator Mark Villar. All cabinet secretaries and members of the Office of the President, the ambassadors, members of the diplomatic corps, representatives of the different international and domestic non-governmental organizations, fellow government officials and workers in government, barangay officials, my beloved Taclobanons, guests and visitors, maupay nga aga sa ato na tanan. I would want to begin by thanking each and every one of you for being here with us today, especially to our President for taking the time off his very busy and hectic schedule to be with us in Tacloban today. You honor us with your presence. To the world, the 8th of November 2013 shall forever be known as the day the strongest storm, Super Typhoon Yolanda, made landfall in the Philippines, and in the city of Tacloban was ground zero. We lost children, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, grandparents, neighbors, and friends, and suffered billions of pesos in damage to our homes, possessions, businesses, means of livelihood, and infrastructure. And yet today, we must insist that our story is not one of tragedy. Our story is one filled with compassion, generosity, and kindness. We were witness to an overwhelming outpouring of aid and support from all over the world. Our story is a story of hope, survival, unwavering determination, and will to rebuild. A celebration of life and of the living, the fulfillment of the promise of a rainbow after the storm. Super Typhoon.
Okay. Alfred Romualdez is a much better leader than his brother Martin. Martin is a more of chapo politician, in my opinion. I could not give a reaction to that because I do not know Alfred Romualdez that much. But I guess I have to give a little bit of disagreement with you. You're entitled to your opinion po. With you, when it comes to Martin, he's doing something good also. That is your opinion. I respect po your opinion. Okay, dito po sa channel ko, pwede kayong magbigay ng opinion maski basta magalang lang. Re-respetuhin po namin ang opinion nyo. Babasahin po namin.
Typhoon Yolanda undoubtedly pushed our limits, tested our determination, questioned our faith. But at the end of the day, our indomitable human spirit and unconquerable will to survive prevailed.
He meant
People
indomitable.
of Tacloban stand before you, not as victims, but as survivors. And the champions in the battlefield of nature's wrath and devastation. In the 10 years, that fateful day, Tacloban has recovered. We have built back a better and stronger city and community. And we want to thank you all, our allies, our friends, who stood shoulder to shoulder with us in the darkest of our days. We would not be here today without your help. We would not have been able to pick up the pieces of our lives and rebuild our city from the wreckage, if not for that wholehearted support. We recognize the concerted efforts to sustain the gains despite the challenges we face.
Pero allegedly, leader, mukhang tama ka nga. Mukhang magaling itong si Martin. Hindi, si Alfred. Kasi he was able to make Tacloban City recover from the tragedy of Yolanda 10 years ago. That's an achievement. Okay. I believe you're right in certain aspects. Yeah. There you go.
In our road to recovery. Tacloban stands before you today as a testament of what unity in the face of adversity can accomplish. We will not forget. We will forever be grateful.
As I said, we share the same opinions. What alleged leader, they are both good leaders. Ngayon hindi ko nalaman ko, di pala sila magkapatid. They are not brothers but cousins for your info. Both entered parties because you Melda's request to help Tacloban or Leyte. Good. Thank you for the info, little lady net.
To all of you. We vow to honor the memories of the lives of your loved ones, lost and incredibly generosity bestowed upon us by imparting the invaluable lessons we have learned to others. My friends, today, I'm very happy to say that I see very many familiar faces, faces that were with us during that day and in the recovery stages. Thank you for being with us today. It's a great honor. Not only friends, not only officers and men in uniform from different countries, ambassadors, representatives from other nations, NGOs. It's really an honor. And I would say, Mr. President, it's an honor really for us Taclobanons, for you to be here with us today, as you were part of our recovery and you were part in working with us, and we were sweating it out there day and night, just to get back on our feet. And I thank you also, Speaker Martin, for being there and pushing all the support. And I would like to take this opportunity to make a special mention to Senator Francis Tolentino, who was then MMDA, who brought so much help to the city of Tacloban. We know it was out of your jurisdiction, and yet you went out of your way. Marami pong salamat, Senator. And Senator Villar, maraming salamat ho na pinagpatuloy nyo yung recovery stage to nag-DPWH Secretary po kayo.
Mhm.
And one of the great learnings also from our dear Secretary of the Department of Environmental Natural Resources, I was glad to have met with you in Ateneo University, and you explained exactly what climate change was all about. And marami pong salamat, Secretary, sa lessons na inuman nyo. Secretary Acosar also of the Sud, thank you very much. We've had some challenges also with our housing problems, and thank you for helping us live through that, as well as, of course, our great Secretary of the Department of Interior Local Government. Maraming salamat po in helping us recover and bringing up new policies in helping our local governance. Marami pong salamat. And for the rest of our friends, thank you. Especially for those men in uniform, I would especially mention even the Bureau of Fire, who lost 5 firemen during the Yolanda typhoon. So maraming salamat at maupay nga aga kaato na tanan. Damo nga salamat.
Thank you, Mayor Romualdez. At this point, may we call on House Speaker Ferdinand Martin G. Romualdez to deliver his message.
Ay, batiyan na.
I'd like to acknowledge, of course, our esteemed members of the diplomatic corps. You and all your countries and all your people made it possible.
Maski galit ka kay Speaker Martin Romualdez, pakinggan mo yung sinasabi niya. Magaling siya. Magaling yung sinabi niya. You have to give him credit. Like I gave credit to Prrd sa aking first discussion dito.
Possible for us to recover. When the United Nations, through Secretary General Ban Ki-moon and
Nang-intriga ka
they
naman,
sounded
Roger
the
Evans,
alarm, and
still
you
ka.
all, the international community responded, and that is why we are all here today, fully recovered, as if it had not come, the outcome had not been as devastating as it was. And we thank you for all of these.
Ang sabi ko lang sa iyo, Roger, what is past is past. Let's look at the present. Oo. Pag mo nang iangkatin yung past.
For our success today. Of course, all our national government officials, our men and women in service in uniforms, we acknowledge your presence. Indeed, today is a day to commemorate the country coming together in unity. Today, we gather to mark the 10th anniversary of a day that forever changed the landscape of our beloved city, Tacloban, and the surrounding region. The devastating impact of Typhoon Yolanda. A decade has passed, but the memories of that fateful day remain etched in our hearts and in our minds. 10 years ago,
Ito lang masasabi ko, Roger. Pati si PBBM, ngayon ko lang nalaman ng katotohanan. Pina-stay niya si Manila si Martin Romualdez din. Kasi doon niya doon nanggagaling ang utos kay Presidente Bongbong Marcos. Yung inire-relay niya kay Martin Romualdez. Kaya nandito siya sa Manila na humingi ng tulong kila Maruhas. Mapapansin mo dun sa speech later on ni President Bongbong Marcos. Let us open our minds. Dito po, fair is fair.
As the representative of Tacloban City, I witnessed firsthand the sorrow and the loss that overwhelmed our community. And yet, amidst the rubble and tears, I also saw the indomitable spirit of our people. I witnessed neighbors helping neighbors, strangers becoming family, and the nation rallying together to rise again. Kasama nating umiyak at nakiramay sa mga nawalan ng mahal sa buhay at sa paunahing pagdangal natin ngayon si Pangulong Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Kasama natin siya sa pagbibigay ng agarang pagtulong sa mga nasalanta ng bagyo. Mula noon hanggang ngayon, kasama natin siya sa pagbangon at hindi lamang sa Tacloban, kundi maging sa ibang lugar na winasak ni Yolanda. Today, as we commemorate this day, let us also celebrate resilience, unity, and hope that have defined our recovery journey. The road has been challenging, but with each passing year, our collective strength and determination even more evident. A significant milestone in our journey
Milestone.
to rebuild and uplift our community is the ceremonial distribution of land titles to our pabahay beneficiaries. This is not merely a piece of paper. It represents our commitment to providing a stable and secure future for our people. It symbolizes hope, permanence, and the dream of every Taclobanon to have a place that they can genuinely call their own. Ito po ay handog sa atin ng Pangulong Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Bawat titulong hawak ninyo ay simbolo ng ating pagkakaisa para masigurong may maayos, mapayapa, at maunlad na komunidad ang mahal nating Tacloban. Now, as I continue to represent our district in the 19th Congress, I am continuously reminded of the lessons Typhoon Yolanda has taught us. It is my solemn pledge to serve relentlessly and do everything in my power for the welfare and the progress of our people, ensuring that we are better prepared.
Imagine you praise a person who does nothing free. Before you give a judgment, let's hear first si President Marcos. Yan ang mahirap sa atin eh. Nagbibigay tayo ng judgment kaagad. Mabuti na lang at you did it in a respectful way. Pero pakinggan natin ang sasabihin ni President Marcos mamaya before you give a judgment. Because yan ang ebidensya ko. Ang sinabi po ni Presidente Marcos. Hindi po ako magsasabi nang wala akong basihan dito. Ibahin mo yung channel ko po. Kasi lahat dito, ang argumento ko ay always backed up by evidence. Yung sasabihin ni Presidente Marcos mamaya ay malalaman mo ang tunay na katotohanan. Huwag kang magpapapaniwala sa mga vloggers na wala namang research. Dito po, panay ang research ko. Sasabihin mo, hindi karapat-dapat na i-press yan kasi wala namang ginagawa. Pakinggan mo si Presidente, si Presidente na Marcos na magpapatunay na mayroon ba siya kung bakit ko siya pinupuri.
And more resilient to any future challenge. Hindi tayo mapapagod sa pakikilos para sa kagalingan ng mga kababayan natin dito sa Tacloban. Hindi tayo titigil sa pagbangon hanggang hindi natin natitiyak na may magandang kinabukasan ang ating mga anak at ang susunod na henerasyon. Today, let us also pause to remember that those we lost honor the heroes who emerged in the aftermath
Kung ganyan ang thinking mo, na pag sinabi niya, kasi kasin daw niya, ay, wala tayong diskusyon kasi close-minded ka. Ako hindi close-minded po. Magsasabi ba ng kasinungalingan ng ating presidente? Pinagdududahan mo ano, diyan bawat sasabihin ng presidente.
and express gratitude for our countless blessings that we have received. Our story is one of triumph over adversity, and as we continue on this journey, let us carry the legacy of Yolanda as a testament to the underlying spirit
Pwede ba wag muna kayong mag-comment ng against until we finish the statement of our president? Okay. Ay, bisdag inday yung Joffy. Thank you.
of our people.
Kasi madidelay lang itong program ko. Kasi I promise na I will react to any comment. Pero kaya nga, pakinggan nyo muna yung sasabihin ng presidente kung anong nangyari actually sa Yolanda. Wala tayo doon eh. Sila ang nandoon.
May God continue to bless us all and to guide us. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Mabuhay ang Tacloban, mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas.
May mali bang sinabi si Speaker Martin Romualdez? Ang galing nga ng speech niya.
Thank you, House Speaker Romualdez. And now may we request everyone to please direct your attention to our screens for the audiovisual presentation on the Yolanda story.
In the Philippines, the city of Tacloban bears witness to a tale of unyielding resilience and extraordinary transformation. An emotional journey through time as we vividly recall Typhoon Yolanda, a full decade of unwavering fortitude and the awe-inspiring renaissance of this remarkable city. Before the storm, Tacloban was a place rich in history, culture, and significance in the Philippines. Its vibrant cultural heritage, colorful festivals, and warm, welcoming locals made it a popular destination for tourists and a source of pride for its residents. It is also a thriving city, bustling with economic activity and serving as a hub for trade and commerce in the region. However, on that hot
Sure, Pin, parang inatake mo kasi ako na wala akong basihan sa aking pagbibigay ng praise. Kasi antayin mo muna before you make a comment. It's also unfair to me. Sabi mo, imagine giving a praise for a person who does nothing. Bibigyan ko ba ng praise yung taong yun kung wala siyang ginagawa? Simple lang ng logic.
heart-wrenching day of November 8, 2013, the unthinkable became reality. Typhoon Yolanda descended upon Tacloban with unrelenting fury, leaving behind an unimaginable trail of devastation.
Siyado ka rin ka magkaradlok adto nga nagtabo. Waray ko maikukumpara ang mga tao, halos sugod man ang kasiring ko maobos ang mga tao kay dadamo gud man ana hilera nga mga patay didan tabihang kalsada.
The tragedy struck and took away my family. I really didn't know how to start over again, and I felt that I had no reason to live anymore.
In the immediate aftermath, chaos and grief gripped the city. Families wept for their lost loved ones, and some residents chose to leave, unable to bear the devastation. Tacloban was a city in mourning, but amid the despair, some, determined to rebuild, stayed and stood strong in the face of the unimaginable.
Surviving Yolanda in 2013 was an eye-opener. But realizing the power in our stories was pivotal. Because yes, everything was taken away by that storm, but we gained stories that can put a human face to the numbers and statistics of climate science.
Ini nga luyot barko, amo niton balay. So sa nena buwan Yolanda, naubos na akong pamilya, akong nanay, tatay, duwa nga bungto, tapos naupon pa na akong anak.
Adto nga pag Yolanda makusog, di kami maaram ko na kami makuha ang pagkaon. As in talaga makuri kay adto nga panahon, di kami maaram liwat ko na maunguan medisina para ng mga anak.
Aking Tacloban.
resurrected their lives, local businesses have prospered, and culture flourishes once again. As our journey continues, we stand united in awe of Tacloban's indomitable spirit. This is not just a story, it is a testament to the human will. We implore you to stand alongside us to support resilience building efforts in Tacloban and other communities in need. Together, we shall face the future with unwavering hope, unbreakable unity, and a determination that knows no bounds.
Bangon, Tacloban, huwag kang papatalo.
At this juncture, may we call on House Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romualdez to introduce the guest of honor.
Yan.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the
Importante
Republic
na
of the
po itong
Philippines, His Excellency
marami kayong
President
malalaman
Ferdinand
na
R.
hindi
Marcos
nyo,
Jr.
hindi ko alam noon. Ngayon ako naliwanagan ng konti.
Thank you for that introduction, Speaker Martin Romualdez. Please take your seats.
Okay. Roger Evans,
Excellencies
alleged leader, please
and other
listen.
members of the diplomatic corps who are here representing the countries who came to our aid in the depths of our difficulties after Yolanda. I know that everyone here had a part to play in the recovery, but we cannot overstate the importance of the efforts of the different countries who came to the Philippines to assist, the NGOs, the international NGOs, the local NGOs that came and helped with the rebuilding and the rehabilitation and the recovery. I remember very well how we were at a complete loss in the days following Yolanda. How do we
Kikita mo, emotional siya when he makes this speech. It's coming from the heart.
where do we get relief goods? How do we bring them? How do we transport them to the people that are in need? I remember when I first arrived in Tacloban, there were 3 vehicles in the whole of Leyte that were still functioning. And these were the people who came, the NGOs, the different countries, even the private corporations who came. And they helped us in every way that they could, in both the relief, both in the rescue, and even in the rehabilitation and the rebuilding of Tacloban. And for that, they would come and they would bring all that we needed. They would bring relief goods, they would bring water, they would bring water purifiers, they would bring fuel, they would bring transportation. And we could not have survived without that. And so it is impossible to overstate how important it is to us what you did for us after Yolanda and in the years subsequent to Yolanda, where you never left us. You stayed with us and stayed with us for years until you could see that we had recovered. And for that, we owe you a depth of gratitude that we will never be able to repay.
Take from the heart.
Also here is, we will introduce our now DNR secretary, who was then with the Manila Observatory. She was, nauna po siya. They were the first to forecast how strong Yolanda was going to become. And we could not believe the figures that she was saying, that umabot ng 370-kilometer gusts. And up to now, we have not seen that kind of weather anywhere around the world. And that is why we have now recognized that this was the onset of the worst effects of climate change. Andito rin ngayon, Senator Francis Tolentino, kailangan po natin batiin dahil MMDA siya. Metro Manila Development Authority, napakalayo po. He was far away. But the first heavy equipment that arrived in Tacloban was the MMDA heavy equipment. Nauna pa sila sa lahat ng ibang government agencies. Kaya't karapat-dapat na nandito siya. Nakasama natin na tumutulong dito. Andito rin si then Secretary Mark Villar na pinagpatuloy nung panahon ng nakaraang administrasyon, no siyang Secretary ng Department of Public Works, ay siya ay nagpatuloy ng reconstruction at ginawa niyang prioridad. Kaya kami na tiga rito ay muling nagpapasalamat sa inyo. And of course, ang ating housing secretary na naging kasama, nandito rin si Job Bentay ng NHA. Lahat sila ay tumutulong para pagandahin dahil yung unang ginawang reconstruction ng mga bahay ay hindi pumasa kay Mayor Alfred. At sabi niya, hindi po pwedeng tirahan ito. Kaya binalikan po natin. We went back and we made sure that the facilities that were being created are now suitable for the families that lost their homes. And that is why they continue the recovery, the rehabilitation, the rebuilding still continues. Nandito rin po ang ating Secretary ng DILG, Secretary Benhur Abalos, dahil alam nyo, yung pinaghirapan po natin, the suffering that we went through during Yolanda will not go to naught because we have shown the rest of the country and the rest of the world what needs to be done. The suffering that we went through is now a bellwether of what the world needs to face when we talk about climate change. Kaya po, ito po ang naging naranasan natin dito sa Western Visayas, hindi lamang po Tacloban, hindi lamang Leyte, pati Samar Island, ay malakas ang tama hanggang Ormoc. Tinamaan ng Yolanda. Lahat yan, kahirapan na dinaanan natin, marami tayong naituro sa buong Pilipinas at sa buong mundo para kaya natin harapin ang mga nagiging problema dahil nga sa ating climate change. At nung panahon na yon, si Speaker Romualdez ay majority floor leader pa lang, hindi pa sa speaker noon.
Pakinggan niyo po ito, alleged leader, Roder Evans. Bago kayo manghusga sa akin. Okay, pakinggan niyo po ang sasabihin niya.
At nandito kami, ako naiwan dito, senador ko noon, naiwan ako dito sa Tacloban, doon ako nakakamping doon sa bahay ni Congressman Martin.
He stayed in the house of Martin Romualdez during the Yolanda crisis itself. Okay.
Ang mga nagiging problema dahil nga sa ating climate change. Kaya po, ito po ang naging naranasan natin dito sa Western Visayas, hindi lamang po Tacloban, hindi lamang Leyte, pati Samar Island, ay malakas ang tama hanggang Ormoc. Tinamaan ng Yolanda. Lahat yan, kahirapan na dinaanan natin, marami tayong naituro sa buong Pilipinas at sa buong mundo para kaya natin harapin ang mga nagiging problema dahil nga sa ating climate change. At nung panahon na yon, si Speaker Romualdez ay majority floor leader pa lang, hindi pa sa speaker noon. At nandito kami, ako naiwan dito, senador ko noon, naiwan ako dito sa Tacloban, doon ako nakakamping doon sa bahay ni Congressman Martin. At siya naman, sinabi ko sa kanya, magpaiwan ka dyan sa Maynila para...
Yan. Ano ngayon? Sasabihin niyo, wala siyang ginawa. Inutusan siya ni Presidente na magpaiwan sa Maynila. Kaya wag niyo kong huhusgan ng basta-basta. Mayroon po akong ebidensya. Hindi ako rito magdidiskusyon ng walang ebidensya. Bago lang kayo siguro sa aking channel. Kaya sabi ko, magantay kayo sa sasabihin ng Presidente. Actual experience niya ito. Wala tayo roon. Sino ang paniniwalaan nyo? Yung mga vloggers nyo? Na hindi naman nandoon? O si Presidente? Inutusan niya pala si Martin Romualdez na mag-stay sa Manila. Samantalang siya ay mag-stay sa Tacloban. Nakatira siya sa bahay. Kaya minsan sumasama ang loob ko eh. Basta husga kayo ng husga, paratang ng paratang, parang minamalit nyo ang aking analysis, samantalang mayroon na ako pong ebidensya. Kayo po, mayroon po ba kayong ebidensya na ipapakita sa akin na kukontrain po yung aking analysis?
Lahat ng pangangailangan namin dito sa Tacloban, lahat ng pangangailangan dito hanggang Giwan, hanggang lahat ng Samar, lalong-lalo na sa pag-release ng mga emergency funds, sa kanya ko pinapasa. At yun
yung pala eh. Sa kanya pinapasa then Senator Marcos kay then majority floor leader Martin Romualdez. Siya nakanap ng I think 153 million initial funding sa Tacloban. Naku naman. Huwag kayong maghusga sa akin.
Ang kanyang linalakad, kaya narelisan tayo kaagad ng 130 billion na binigay.
Kanino sino po ang nagtrabaho noon? Si Speaker Martin Romualdez. Ngayon, sasabihin niyong walang nagawa si Martin Romualdez during the Tacloban crisis? Hindi ko alam yan. Nalaman ko lang yan nung nagsalita ang ating presidente. Sasabihin nyo ngayon, hindi totoo yan. Nagsisinguling si Presidente Marcos. It can be proven through the records itself. Ano ba naman kayo? Very close-minded kayo. Tama nga, sabi ni Lady Net, mayroon kayong mga biases na hindi naman nyo mapatunayan na totoo yung bias ninyo. Naku naman. Kung bago-bago kayo sa channel ko, mapapansin nyo na hindi kayo pwede kasi kung basta na lang kayo magkaakusa na walang ebidensya, hindi po lulusot ang inyong arguments. Tama ka, Lady Net. Hindi pwedeng puro bias na lang. Dito, kung dapat pong criticize po natin. Kung dapat purihin po, pinupuri natin. Kanina lang, pinuri ko si Prrd. Equal tao dito. I am pro Marcos, pero patas lang ang aking paningin sa katotohanan. Hindi nakapiring ang aking mata sa katotohanan. Okay. Ay nako, very frustrating sometimes.
Yun ang unang pumasok na pondo para makapagbigay tayo. Tapos nandyan po yung ating mga tumulong at nung medyo nasalba na natin lahat ng mga survivor at nakuha na natin, ay nandyan naman po yung ibang NGO nagsimula ng Cash for Work program para naman linisin na ang mga gusali, linisin na ang mga nagkalat. At ito po ay lahat ng ating mga kaibigan ay hindi na natin sinasabing kaibigan na lang, kung hindi ito po ay ating mga naging kapatid na dahil sa lalim ng pinagsamahan natin at hindi po tayo iniwanan hanggang nakita nila tapos na ang trabaho nila dito sa atin sa Western Visayas, sa Tacloban, sa Leyte. 10 years have gone by, and yet the memory of this tragedy remains indelible in our hearts and in our thoughts. The devastation we suffered included over 6,000 lives lost, over 28,000 injured, over 1,000 missing, and over 3 million families affected. And to this day, we still do not know the true scope of our loss, because we grieve and we mourn those of our dead. But we must always keep a special place in our hearts for those who we lost, who are uncounted,
Very well
who
said.
are unrecorded. So that up to now, we say 6,000 casualties. We do not know that for sure. We are certain that there were more, but for whatever reason, their deaths have not been recorded. So even if that is the case, let them not be unremembered. So when we grieve and when we mourn for our dead, keep a special place in your heart for those who have not been known to have gone. But we know in our hearts, we know the loss that we feel.
Nakakaiyak naman ang speech mo,
To
President.
the survivors who continue to move forward, we salute your indomitable spirit and character. As we commemorate this 10th year of Yolanda, let us continue to offer our prayers for our dearly departed, even as we find our own path towards peace, towards healing, towards recovery. And who could ever forget the extraordinary outpouring of love, of help, and compassion that came from all over the country and from all over the world. The aid that came from all directions, the volunteerism, the heroism that overflowed in the affected areas, specifically in the rehabilitation of Tacloban. Indeed, what we saw back then was the spirit of bayanihan in its truest form, moving without prompting, without hindrance, and without ceasing. And much to our surprise, we saw that Filipino Bayanihan spirit coming from our friends from all other lands. So to all the national leaders, all the local leaders, then and now, the private sector, the international, local organizations, volunteers, donors, accept our eternal gratitude. But the work is not done. The work is not done. There are still many who continue to await our assistance. So we have engaged the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development and the National Housing Authority to accelerate the provision of housing units and land titles to our beneficiaries. And I also urge the Yolanda response clusters to work closely with concerned local governments to address the lingering issues of the different affected communities. Let us continue to work hard so that we can provide them with the tools and the resources to rebuild their lives. At this point, let me, of course, acknowledge the local government of Tacloban City for rising above this challenge and working hard to strengthen the locality's disaster resiliency. Ang inyong mayor po ay he has become now the poster boy of climate resilience, not only in the Philippines, but around the world. Kapag meron silang hinahanap na sino ang expert tungkol sa mga nagiging problema na dinudulot ng climate change, si Mayor Alfred Romualdez po ang hinahanap kung saan-saan. Kaya't nakilala na ang Tacloban sa inyong tibay, sa inyong tapang, sa inyong galing, sa inyong sipag, at sa inyong pagmamahal. I recognize that your disaster risk reduction and the management efforts to the creation of contingency, public service, and the disaster response plan, both at the barangay and city levels, are now in place. Your endeavors to establish emergency evacuation SOPs and emergency response teams are noteworthy and serve as examples for other local governments around the country. Equally important is your collective action to protect and rehabilitate your communities through reforestation, river embankment and stabilization, and other environmental conservation programs. It is also crucial to be reminded that climate change will keep exacerbating the impact of natural disasters. As I have said, we must make climate change a vital component of our national policies. We must make sure that we apply our knowledge on climate change to every plan, to every decision and initiative, so we can build stronger and more resilient communities. Be assured that the government is always striving to ensure that such tragedies of this magnitude will be avoided and will be adapted to. We continue to build disaster-resilient evacuation centers and emergency operation centers. We are also putting into place more centralized and efficient early warning systems, incident command systems, and disaster response strategies. The development and deployment of new technologies, such as GeoRisk PH and Plan Smart, along with the continuous conduct of information and education campaigns, simulation drills are also aimed to save lives. I therefore call on our citizens to partner with us in bolstering our country's disaster preparedness, recovery, and resiliency so that we can overcome whatever storms we will face. It is an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and better as we a people and we as a country. So we mark the 10th year of Typhoon Yolanda. Let us also celebrate the unparalleled spirit of the Waray and of the Filipino. Let us take pride in the fact that we triumphed over this calamity through our innate bayanihan, which inspired people all over the world. Let us envision, let us dream, let us work towards building a better nation isang bagong Pilipinas in honor of those who have passed on and for the benefit of our future generations. Thank you and good morning.
Nice speech po, President. Di ba? Dapat lang i-praise ko si Martin Romualdez. Kasi mayroon pala siyang ginawa. Tinutusan siya ni Presidente Marcos na mag-stay sa Manila para makipag-coordinate po. So, mali yung, ay naamin ko, naniniwala ko dun sa propaganda against Martin Romualdez before I listened to the speech of President Bongbong Marcos. Kaya kung kayo makititago sa isip nyo dahil you hate Speaker Martin Romualdez, kayo na bahala dyan. Pero narinig nyo ang ating presidente na siya mismo nagpapatunay na mayroong ginawa si Martin Romualdez. Kaya uli-uli, pag kayong mag-aakusa sa akin na hindi ko alam ang aking sinasabi. Kasi may ebidensya ako. Bago kayo mag-akusa, mag-present kayo ng ebidensya na tama po yung sinasabi ninyo, hindi puro opinion. Kasi mag-aaway ang opinion natin. In the first place, it must be backed up by credible po evidence. Okay. So, that is now. Wala na pong komento. Salamat sa inyo, Maribel Sabala, Lady Net, alleged leader, si Juan. Yung mga ibang hindi ko mention, si Bisdag, Inday Joffy, si alleged leader, si Roger Evans, nabati ka na yata yung iba. So, Roger Evans, buksan mo naman ang isip mo. Nakita mo na yung speech ni Presidente Marcos. So, at least mabuksan ng konti ang pag-isipan mo sa katotohanan. Hindi po ako nagsasabi, si Presidente Marcos na nagsabi. Si Jongjong official, si EU Bank Blog, si Upat, yung asawa ko, si Tek Sibilia, si Villanueva, si Gel Lamson, si Ronald Infentes, si Salarin Gamer, Catherine Baqueros, Annalyn Pueda, Tessa Vargas. Ma'am, salamat po. Okay. Si Elvis Alameda. Yun na lang po. Medyo naputol dito sa aking mighty ang mga batian. So, God bless po sa inyo lahat. Take good care of yourself. And binabati ko pala si Jay Cabal sa kanyang anniversary, birthday ng channel niya. Kasi sabay kami nagkaroon ng live stream kaya hindi ko siya napunta. Replay na lang po ako sa kanya. So, Jay Cabal, sorry po. Kasi ang specific time ko na parati is ganitong oras. Hindi ko naman madidisappoint ang aking mga viewers. I hope you understand. Okay? Okay, bye. I love you all.